Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Once again, I'm John, your host. Today we're here with Scott Poore, and what we're going to talk about today is building a business that's going to give you the financial freedom you want, as well as helping create some passive income. Guys, at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, and really all real estate entrepreneurs 2 to 5x their business. And it's helping them build those businesses they've always wanted to build and live those lives that they always wanted to live. So without further ado, Scott, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, John.
Yeah, no, not a problem. I'm super excited to talk about this. I mean, I think that a lot of folks, when they get into this business, are really looking for that financial freedom and have some of that maybe passive, which we both know isn't as passive, income. But before we talk about all that, why don't you just kind of give our audience a little bit about who you are, and what got you here?
So I'm a real estate investor. Been doing it for about 5 years, seriously. But before that, I was a electrical engineer, a sales engineer for about 15 years. So I'm an electrical engineer by trade. They kind of gradually got into entrepreneurship and into real estate. Then before I was an engineer, I also served in the military. So I served in the Marine Corps for 7 years in the reserves, and about half that time I was on active duty serving overseas.
Thank you again for your service.
Thanks. So 4 years old, got a family of 4, boy and a girl, 8-year-old and 5-year-old. Been married to a beautiful wife for 12 years now. So really blessed there. That's kind of my background.
Okay, cool. Now, obviously, electrical engineer maybe doesn't translate to the real estate right away. What got you? I mean, what was the thing that sparked your head, saying, "Hey, real estate might be the vehicle to get me to where I want to go"?
Yeah, so I first kind of stumbled upon financial freedom and the kind of the FIRE movement, listening to different podcasts, and really getting into index fund investing and things like that. Then I kind of gradually kind of learned more about real estate, and you can probably get there faster doing real estate deals. Then I think it was probably when I was 20 years old, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad for the first time. So that kind of gave me a good introduction of investing and kind of where you want to go eventually. But then I eventually stumbled upon real estate and kind of been going full force ever since then.
Nice. Now, when you started your real estate journey, I mean, did you start it part-time? Did you just kind of, hey, make the leap and go full-time? How did you make that transition?
Yeah, I started part-time, working, nights and weekends, and just kind of gradually, went to full-time. So after, about 4 years.
The night and weekend grind. We all know that all too well, especially when you're getting started in this business. So at what point did you kind of realize that, hey, investing is going to be, is working out, right? I'm going to move from my full-time gig and make this a full-time gig?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah, I guess when I was getting to a point where, I was maybe missing out on some deals, missing some phone calls, then I also had, kind of enough deals in the pipeline, and also some, cash flow coming in for some of the rentals and other things I was doing to kind of make that transition.
Okay. And I remember my experience, right? When I told my wife, hey, I'm leaving this full-time job and I'm going to start this business, family was all behind you?
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit, nervous, things my wife would be concerned about, but, she had faith in me and kind of just trusted me. So you could always go back and get another job. So,
That's true.
It's not, the end of the world. So.
Got it. When you were getting started, like what were some of the bigger hurdles or the bigger challenges you were facing in starting this business and getting it rolling to where you wanted it to be?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's scaling up to doing multiple deals at a time is a challenge. I think probably one of the biggest challenges in this business is kind of the cash flow game. Having enough cash flow to either buy rentals or to scale your marketing up. Then also just the up and down cycles of getting a lot of money in from flips, and even money coming out for rentals, repairs, stuff like that. So it's just managing your cash flow really, having enough to kind of scale up your business.
Right. Did you start off doing flips, or what did you start off doing? Like, what was your exit strategy?
I started off doing rentals, like kind of burrs, where I'd fix it up, refinance, and rent it out. Did several of those, but then quickly kind of realized, and it was also about the same time that interest rates kind of jacked up, where like traditional rentals didn't make a whole lot of sense unless you were paying cash or something, and that's where I kind of turned to focus on flipping and just to get the cash flow up and having a healthier business just made more sense.
Yep.
Then after you have a healthier business, then you can kind of transition on some long-term investments.
Yeah, that's true. And a lot of people, when they're getting into the business, don't focus on how can we make that business as healthy as we can faster, because that's going to bring in more revenue in the long run, right? Having a good flowing business. Tell me about your first deal.
Yeah, my first deal was a single family in Athens, Georgia, that I got off a wholesaler. Then I kind of lucked out where I was able to get it financed through some buddies of mine. It's kind of like a lease option type deal where they financed it. It was my buddy's dad's money that kind of funded the deal. So I paid them a fee, an option fee, down payment. Then I was responsible for the rehab, construction financing. So kind of did that, got it rehabbed, and then refinanced into a traditional conventional bank. Rented it out, and actually sold it late last year, with a pretty good cash pop. But that was my first deal.
So. Nice. For all of your deals, have you been mainly using private money? Are you going out and finding hard money? I mean, how are you funding the deals you're doing?
Most of the deals have been through private money. I've been pretty fortunate to kind of grow my network and network with folks that have private money that they want to lend, and do better than the stock market most of the time.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
So I would say probably 75% of the deals have been private money. Others, hard money.
Hard money.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and that's and I'd like to get an idea of what folks are doing, because I mean a lot of people use that hard money and because they don't have the ability to go out and find that private stuff, right? And the private money is going to give you a lot of time, a lot better rates. What does your team look like now? So you built this business. What does your team look like now? What does your business look like present day today?
So I've got an acquisition manager. Also have a disposition guy. Then also have a handful of contractors that I work with. So pretty small team. Nothing crazy. But then also have a project manager that I just hired.
Okay.
So he really helps out. He's helping scale the business and helps things move along. Previously he's been a challenge, kind of getting flips turned fast as I want to. So he's helping, helping with pricing and manage contractors and just speeding things up, because holding costs eat you up.
Yeah, definitely. Is this someone that you knew, or is this someone that you went out and hired and like found on a job board?
He
like that?
actually went to high school with him, but didn't realize he was in real estate till a little while ago, and he was actually kind of doing the same thing with a bigger company. Then just kind of called him and kept in touch. Then eventually I was like, hey man, do some stuff for me, and it's been working out pretty well so far.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I found a couple of gentlemen I went to high school with that, yeah, they're in the real estate game too. And once like, hey man, I wish we would have been talking for a long time.
Right.
And that's good that it's someone that right? That maybe they don't have you guys haven't hung out a lot lately, but it's someone that you can maybe trust a little bit more than maybe someone you just hired. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
What are some common mistakes you think that people make when they're trying to get into the business? Like, you obviously got in, you transitioned from a good job, you made it successful. What are some mistakes that maybe you ran across, or people are running across, or might run across when they're trying to start this?
I think, especially nowadays, I think if you're like maybe 10 years ago, cash flow is a pretty big play in real estate. The passive income kind of idea, theme. But I think today, people need to be focused on running a business and having consistent cash flow from flips or private money lending or running a small business. So you kind of want to fund your business with active income. Then you roll it into more cash flow plays like rentals and things like that.
And all that type of stuff. Yeah. How are you finding your deals right now? Are you buying strictly from wholesalers, or what are you doing?
It's a little bit of both. Like lately, I've been doing a lot of pay-per-clicks and PPC. It's been pretty successful, and I like that model because inbound leads, the ones you get are most of the time pretty good quality. Then I would say that was probably 70% of my deals, and the other 30 are wholesalers or networking with agents.
Okay. And just in case some folks that are listening to this don't know, PPC, pay-per-click, PPL, pay-per-lead. And, we've been seeing, especially in the Mastermind, a lot of people that are moving that way because they're, like you said, inbound. They're more interested to sell versus a cold call or a cold text or stuff like that. Have you done any of those type of lead gen strategies, cold calling or texting or anything like that?
Yeah, I've done a little bit of texting, a little bit of cold calling, some mail. I've done kind of, I think almost all of them. Probably not all of them as long as I probably should have, but yeah, I mean, I think they're all successful. Whichever one you're most consistent at, it's probably where you can be successful with.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
But and also how much you have time, how much time you have, and what kind of team you want to build. So it just kind of depends.
Yeah, and you said the key word, consistency, right? And I think that no matter what you're doing, whatever strategy you're using, consistency is really the biggest key. As far as the real estate industry now, I mean, what kind of trends are you seeing, starting to develop? Like I'm seeing a lot more people into the inbound stuff versus the outbound, right? So what kind of trends are you think you're seeing in your market currently right now?
Man, I think affordability is real big. Obviously these days in most markets it's becoming unaffordable for most single family houses. So I think stuff on the lower end, like below the median price points are really important. I think mobile home development is starting to rise in different areas, as long as you're in an area that allows mobile home development. Just because a lot of stuff's not affordable. So and I think that what was before maybe project housing or like low income, it's kind of like you're getting better tenants because it's a better price point for those folks, and they're just they might have regular jobs, not really like quote unquote low income. They just it's just not affordable anymore.
They're not Section 8. It's just their income's not allowing them to pay what the prices are today.
Right.
And that's something too that I've heard as well, is a lot, focus on maybe some more of the low income housing, just because of the affordability is just incredible. I mean, people can't, that American dream is gone, I guess you could try to say, of that home ownership, right? Or at least the traditional way of what we think.
Sure.
So what is your business? I know we talked about what it looks like now. I know you mentioned you do about 15 to 20 flips a year.
Correct.
Okay. And are you doing some of the work? Are you just subcontracting it all? How does that look?
I might do a little bit of landscaping here and there, but for the most part, I'm outsourcing all the work.
Outsourcing, subcontract. Okay. And then you also have rentals.
Correct. Yeah.
How many? What's your portfolio look like?
So I got about 10 traditional long-term rentals, then 10 more of like creative finance type deals where I do owner financing with the wraps.
Okay.
So some of those I bought subject to, and some of them I've bought and fixed up, then refinanced, and also then sell it on the back end.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's interesting because a lot of folks, obviously want to get in with as little or no money as possible. And those strategies, sub to wrap, all the creative stuff is really, it's been picking up steam over the last few years. Obviously, Pace Morby and, a lot of the people really pushing it. How did you learn how to do those type of deals?
I joined a small mastermind that focused on creative financing. It's one of my buddies that I kind of got started with. He, after I got started, a couple of years later, he started a group. Then it kind of takes a while to kind of wrap your head around a lot of that stuff, but got into it and figured out it's not too hard to figure out. It's difficult to find really good subject to deals, but other than that, it's not rocket science.
Yeah, I think with subject to deals or deals like that, I think it's more of how you're presenting it to your seller, right? Because sellers don't know anything other than list it with the realtor and sell. You know what I mean? So to be able to show the benefits and how you can get them more money, do stuff like that is huge, right?
Correct. So yeah.
What's your your favorite strategy? Sub to seller finance? Is that kind of where you're trying to do a lot of your deals?
Yeah, I mean, if I can find a subject to, that's not a lot of walk away to the seller, or if they're not behind on the mortgage a lot, then those are the best ones that have low interest rates and maybe a little bit of equity.
Yeah. And are you currently doing all your marketing in Georgia? Are you going outside of the state, or where's your main market you focus on?
Yeah, main market's Georgia. I think it's big enough for what I'm doing at this point. So yeah, just kind of focused on one area, and yeah, obviously I could probably go to outside of Georgia, but I just might be spinning my wheels.
Well, and like you said, it's big enough. There's enough, property there. And if for the volume that you're doing right now, do you have any future plans of scaling up? I mean, what is your, 1 and 5 year goals look like for your business?
Yeah, I'm currently working on some land marketing. So I want to do some land flipping, land development, and also get into some mobile home parks as well. So
Okay.
at that point, I'll probably move outside of Georgia. And I try to stay in the southeast, but that's kind of where I'm thinking of.
Okay. So for the land, you're looking to do mobile home parks?
Yeah, yeah, mobile home parks, or also just kind of single parcel like mobile home development, where you buy a piece of land and put a new mobile home on there.
Okay.
That,
What got you interested in that? That's something different.
yeah, I think it's a cleaner way to do things. If you can get a good deal on a piece of land, you can get pretty good deals on wholesale trailers, and it's just a different way of flipping. I think it could be a lot cleaner than managing a big rehab and all the things that come with that.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of folks getting, expressing interest in doing stuff like the mobile homes, maybe even storage, self-storage stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, well, that's awesome. What resources do you think are important to have or important to use for someone trying to get into the business and maybe do flips or have rentals or stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you first get started, or when you're thinking about getting started, you want to listen to different podcasts. It could be Bigger Pockets, could be the Investor Fuel podcast. And there's hundreds of real estate podcasts out there these days. But podcasts, videos, read a couple books. But I think the biggest thing is getting involved with groups. You could pick a mastermind to get involved with. Maybe do one deal or two by yourself, then kind of join a group. Because you just don't know what you don't know, and you get help from other people. So growing your network. Also, go to local meetups and meet other investors. So that really helps.
Yeah, that's a great tip, especially with, when you don't know what you don't know, you want to get in front of as many people to find that stuff out, right? And until you get that level to get into maybe a mastermind or stuff like that, yeah, the RIAs, the local stuff is extremely valuable. What kind of advice, if I'm brand new and I'm just looking around, I see podcasts on, I listen to this podcast and I listen to what Scott says, what's some advice that you would give me as a newbie getting into this? Maybe pitfalls to look out for.
Pitfalls, I would say, one is, make sure you do your due diligence, both on like the underwriting of a deal, then also, repairs for a flip or a rental that you're getting yourself into. Ask realtors for their opinion. Contractors for their opinion, but also don't give yourself analysis paralysis. And I think if you're 70% think it's going to be successful, you should go ahead and do it. Don't hold yourself up. And if you're somebody that's like perfectionist and kind of overanalyzes stuff, like real estate might not be the game for you. But
Right.
but yeah, it's kind of my opinion.
Well, and there's a couple of schools of thought, and I kind of am just curious to get yours, right? When people are starting out, some people say, hey, you need to join, or you need to join a training program. You need to find a coach. Or, hey, there's plenty of stuff online. Just do it, and then as you get a deal, help folks. I mean, what do you think is the best way for someone who really wants to make it successful to get that action moving?
Yeah, I mean, I think just making a goal of, whatever they want to do. If they want to get one rental or do one flip, just write down what they need to do and figure out the steps they need to do it, and also, give themselves a timeline, of, meeting that goal. And, one thing a lot of people get hung up on is finding a deal. But, most of the time I find out that they're just not doing enough to get it. Like, I'll ask them how many offers they making. One. I'm like, well, make 100 offers and you'll probably get one.
Yeah. Right.
So, I think most of the time people just, when they're new and they're starting up, they're just not doing enough. So.
Well, and I maybe want to put the blame on, obviously, our wonderful world, internet, that someone can go on and see all these flashy things of people making all this money and think it's that easy, when they don't see the behind the scene things. And I think one of my favorite pictures is, with that iceberg, you have to really tip on the top is all you can see. And then on the bottom, it's just all the stuff that people don't see behind the background.
Right.
Is there anything else you want to share with us about your business? How, I know we talked a little about real fast about, helping people and helping people get to, into it, get into the level. I mean, tell me a little bit about your passion as far as wanting to help people out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always willing to help people. So I love, helping new investors, or also, or some that are kind of getting going, trying to scale up to the next level. I know a lot of new folks, they're hesitant to reach out because they think I'm super busy. And, I am busy, but, I love to take time and kind of help people out. There might be some investors out there or, business folks that don't want to spend the time of helping people. But, I'm willing to take time out of my day and kind of help people on their journeys and, put them in the right direction if I don't have the answers.
That's awesome. Rising tide lifts all boats. And also too, there's some personalities and people that we gel with, right? And someone might be listening to this and say, hey, Scott's someone I think I'd get along with real well. How do they get a hold of you? Like, if someone wants to reach out to you and maybe ask some more questions, maybe partner up with it on a deal, how do they reach out to you, or how can they get in touch with you?
They can send me a message on social media. They just look me up. I think I'm Scott Poore on SCOTPOORE on Instagram. They can call me too. I'll give up my phone number. I don't care. So
it's up to you if you want to do that. We could do it offline. I can put it on the show notes, but
yeah,
whatever you want to do, it's really up to you.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, guys, I really enjoyed, the time that we spent with you today, Scott, especially talking about kind of how you got started and I hope it resonates with other folks that if you believe that you can do something and you put your mind to it and you have consistent positive action, you're going to be able to see those results. So, Scott, I want to thank you for joining us. Any last tidbits you want to share with our audience?
Yeah, just don't be afraid to take risks and take action. But really, if you're going to do it, be professional and go 100%. So don't make this or real estate a hobby. So it's not really a hobby. So if you make it a hobby, then you might be losing money.
It could be a great hobby. The problem is that it takes too much work to really be a hobby.
Exactly.
It starts out as a hobby, then it turns into a lot more than just that.
Right.
Guys, thank you again. I hope you had a good time on this episode today, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Guys, have a good day. Scott, have a great day.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.